to Minecast. I'm Real G.
This is chezhead.
This is Big Slater.
This is Gongo.
And this is Shadow Dusk.
And this is Notch.
Yeah.
As you can see, we've got a very special guest today, but let's continue. It's been a while since we've last podcasted, and we have a few updates since then. We had a large update 2 Fridays ago with boats.
Yes, boats are awesome.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I think
they
that
break quite easily.
Boats add like another kind of layer to the gameplay because you can kind of go to any island you really want. A lot easier to go around.
Yeah,
and they're relatively low cost.
Yeah.
Almost disposable.
Need subs.
Yeah, Minecraft really encourages exploration, and the fact that boats are so cheap and so fast makes it a lot better.
You can almost use them as you can almost use them as cars. Sorry, there's just someone joining in. I was gonna make some.
There's a video on YouTube about somebody using boats to create this incredibly fast teleportation network.
What? I didn't see that one.
What?
Are you talking about left?
It would be kind of cool to make maybe if in a giant city, if I have multiplayer, you could use those as kind of canals, almost like Venice, but relatively fast. I think maybe like twice as fast as going on foot. I would say.
We'd need people to jump off bridges and jack boats, because that'd be awesome.
Just kill people in the boats, but they're really
Imagine
low cost to sell.
Pig ice skating on boats.
Yeah. Oh, another cool use for them is fun.
Sorry? Yeah, I tried to make them break kind of easily because of the low cost, but that was really annoying. So, and now that they don't break as easily, I find myself just getting lost all the time.
I can see people surrounding island fortresses with cacti.
That would be kind of annoying.
Oh god, no.
But the thing about the
It's a
low
good
cost,
idea,
though,
isn't it?
when the boats first came out, it was really annoying because like you would just touch anything and it just explode. It was actually kind of funny though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that exploding effect. I'll probably use it for more things that break.
You
Like
should make
if
it
you
spontaneously
have a tool and it breaks, then it might get some resources back in a similar kind of
Blows
explosion
up in your
thingy.
hand.
No, Notch,
Yeah,
are you
exactly.
planning
Spontaneous combustion.
Notch, are you planning on adding something like where creepers or other mobs could create boats and ride around in them, or just steal your boat?
Oh god, no.
Oh my god, no,
Well, there
don't
might
do
be
that.
swimming mobs or mobs that go like surfing or something, but they probably won't be crafting.
I get to see that.
Diamond sword.
And would mobs later be able to hold weapons of like creepers holding diamond swords and TNT?
Creepers
Well,
will
that'd be
link
pretty funny.
Creeper holding TNT. Well,
Mass
they
cluster
can
bomb.
How
hold
ironic.
things already, because I implemented like the all of the stuff as on a basic level as much as possible. So, being on fire is on the entity level, and being able to carry item is on the mob level. So there's support for it in the code, but depends on if it makes sense. I think when I do
Creepers
the
hold stuff though.
on their heads, I don't know. But when I do like the villages with monsters and like friendly monsters, you will probably be able to equip them by throwing stuff at them. So if you throw a sword at a goblin or something, it might run around with the sword.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, so also we had cows. Those
Yeah.
are actually pretty cool. I like but they kind of got changed the voices, so now they aren't as musical. And
Musical? Did you just say musical?
yes.
Did you just say musical?
Anyways, yesterday I started up a alpha save and I saw a gigantic swarm of cows. I ended up killing 25 of them.
Wow.
I just pushed them into lava.
There was no
Like
lava
cows.
around, sadly.
Another
Really?
update we've missed because it's been so long since we've had a podcast was the snow update.
It's not my fault I missed it.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good update, but it's almost like the snow is. Remember, now you have to use shovels to get the snow, but I remember when you could just like use water and make snow farms, and that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But
They
I
changed
think
that.
the snowballs, they're going to be really fun in multiplayer because people can have fun wars with them.
Yeah.
It was actually I made a snowball machine that was like a snowball throwing thing. That was like three doors that would open and close kind of randomly because I had these pigs that were by some levers and by some pressure pads that they go on and off them. So
Is that a
targeted
creeper?
this.
That's awesome.
That is
that
a
a creeper
beautiful
notch?
picture.
Thank you.
I'm gonna save
It's a-
that actually.
It's a pig.
It's a pig.
Oh wait, did we talk about red dust before? I think we did.
Yes, we did
Oh,
that
yeah, I
last
think
Pretty
episode.
yeah.
sure.
And we also
Bingo.
talked about the red dust debacle.
That was fun.
What debacle?
Oh, there was an editing war between presumably V and Minecraft about the name of Redstone.
Cooperite,
yeah.
Aspergite, redstone, red dust.
I just call it red stuff. Do you have any name that you call it, Notch?
Well, I called it red dust from the beginning, but then when I had to give it a real name, I just called it redstone.
It's redstone, red dust. It's pretty interesting. You can make some cool contraptions with it. One thing I do like about is that how you can make torches with it, and they just provide a little bit of light. So I have like an underground bar thing that's a tiny bit of light, a little ambience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and also, what other updates are there? Were there giants in the recent updates? Because I've heard some rumors about that.
I think the entity is still in the game, and it might be possible to get it by playing around the save files, but probably not. The giants, I've implemented the code for it, but it was kind of buggy. Then I decided to keep it until I do like the monster prefixes, so I can have like giant sheep, giant creeper.
Cows.
Badass flaming
Giant cows.
stag.
But there was some on Face Punch. There's tons of rumors going around about that, and I wasn't sure if any of them were real or they're just messing around at some file editing thing.
Giant pig would be terrifying, just saying.
Also,
Yeah.
flying.
Oh, man.
creatures.
Yeah, giant creeper would be awesome too.
Yeah.
Giant
God.
creeper, skeleton. I don't know.
Now, Notch, how would burning creepers work?
I'm not sure. Burning creepers.
Oh,
You
when
can
it
set them on
explodes.
fire already, but
Yeah, but that'd be a terrifying thought.
fireballs going everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. That's
it would do
definitely
less
gonna
damage
happen.
though, like a normal.
Yeah.
Another-
They throw fire around.
Here's another thing that we missed because of our really long break. Oh, we just hit 300 viewers.
Stop it.
Brocraft stream.
It was epic.
Broke.
Oh yeah, that. Okay, I actually have a big giant list of stuff that I recorded like practically everything that Notch said. I know I'm such a stalker, but I'll try to pull that up here. There's actually a lot of interesting stuff, like flame retardant suits,
Oh, that'd be really interesting.
as he said.
I think a lot of that is just me like thinking about what's possible, and most of the things I think would be fun will get added, but I can't really guarantee that it's going to be like in a month or in a week or anything like that. So,
Yeah.
but
It's
it feels like I'm
understandable.
going to be working on this
Oh,
game
wow.
for quite some time now.
A while ago,
Yeah.
when you were starting Minecraft development, you said you had 2 lists, like bugs and things you want to add. Is that still holding true?
No, I've given up on keeping lists because it's the bugs are pretty. They get emailed to me all the time, so it's just really easy to see which are the most common bugs. When I go bug fixes, or they're really obvious, so I see them myself. And as for
And
the
you
features,
just
I
have
found
a
it.
mental list. You just have a
Yeah, for
mental
the
list.
features, I kind of know where I want to go, and then it's I find I'm really productive when I just follow what fits kind of what the game is doing right now. So if it feels like boats would be cool, and I do them, then I can do them really quickly. So I try to do that instead of like having some kind of to-do list, which kind of hinders the productivity or creativity.
Pretty sure
Now,
something
someone
about-
in
you say something about Mineville and being kind of like front of the Facebook game of Minecraft. I don't think I know it's a joke, but I just found that
Do
kind of
not
funny.
want.
someone in the
Facebook.
chat was saying something about alien that abduct cows.
What?
That'd be
That-
pretty
yeah,
awesome.
That'd be
too
pretty
high
interesting.
Mm.
Too high tech though. I'm not. I'm trying to stay away from technology as much as I can.
Oh, it's
Mineville.
kinda like a
Oh, I'm
primitive.
going to go on Facebook today. Hey,
I-
somebody just found a strawberry cow and it needs a home, so you better play Mineville right now.
Don't. Do not
Great
want still.
cows.
Oh, someone found a burning creeper baby that needs help.
Speaking of
Bullet.
creeper babies, I think we need
You've got to
creeper
rescue
babies.
it or else he's going to explode all over his base.
When you talk about monster prefixes, the one thing that comes to mind is the new Super Scribblenauts game. Have you heard of that? It's kind of like
Yes.
add adjectives and stuff,
Oh.
like
Oh, yeah,
pregnant
yeah.
creepers.
It's awesome.
Pregnant people. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually. I should play that. That will probably give me lots of ideas. When is it coming out?
I have no idea. I think it's coming out later.
Well,
this year, I think.
Scribblenauts, the predecessor, has a bit of an annoying control scheme, but it's a The developers thought of everything.
Yeah, I
even
played
thought of
it.
Keyboard
It's,
Cat.
they did.
And I think that's pretty much it for recent updates. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, by the way, cows, they can't be milked yet. Is
Yeah, that's a bug.
milk gonna
It's a
is the
bug.
milk gonna restore hearts or just do something else?
I'm not sure what it's going to be used for yet.
Make cakes.
Probably making coffee taste less good.
Yeah. Hey, I like my milk with my coffee with milk. Or the other way
Yeah,
around.
sorry.
Lactose
No.
intolerant creepers. I see it now.
Oh man.
It burns.
Yeah. Notch, will milk be like a liquid like water or lava?
No, that's far too silly.
Mm.
That'd be awesome.
That would be stupid.
Milk
So
waterfalls.
my milk waterfall dream is over.
Yeah, the liquid types take up 2 tile types when I add them, and I only have like a fixed budget of 256 in total. So I try to avoid adding liquids just for fun. But I think I'm going to add at least 1 or 2 more liquids to the finished game.
Oil.
Acid.
Acid, goo, slime. Yeah.
You did say something
Oh,
about
yeah,
adding
you-
slimes. Would that be kind of like a liquid of sorts that would be living or something like that? Or would that be way too hard to code?
Fight them with a
It would
bucket.
be kind of both. There would be like a liquid slime thing tile that would run like water or lava does now, and then there would be enemies made out of that material that will spawn near it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the Gulf of Minecraft, a giant slime spill.
Yeah.
Yeah, slimes.
Oh.
Liquid creeper. That's a
I'm not really in. You can go.
Oh.
Fine, I'll go. I'm not into the idea of slimes because it's a bit too Dragon Quest for me, and everything else to do with the game is pretty unique.
There will be no dragons.
Skeletons are hardly unique. Skeletons and zombies. The only thing really unique among the monsters are the creepers. The spiders are totally cliche and
I do like the creepers though. I think they just kind of make Minecraft.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that too.
Minecraft's mascot.
I gotta make a papercraft one of those sometime.
Yeah,
Wow,
I'm
people
looking
are-
into doing plush creepers that people can.
Yes.
I
Yes.
bet.
Yes.
But you have to kind of order like 3,000 of them at a
I
time.
will buy
so-
5.
And I'm not sure where I'm going to store them, but yeah.
I would buy one.
Yeah, I want.
My uncle
Yes.
Gary runs a dog training gear store out of his house, and in one of the guest rooms, he has a shelf full of the stuff.
Yeah.
Creepers overrunning your house while you're waiting to ship them out.
Yeah, that's gonna be creepy. I should get some pictures of that if I do it.
Notch, do you have any plans on making pigs look less like they want to kill you?
But they don't.
They look like they want to kill you? I think they
No,
just
they're
look
cute.
scared and confused all the time.
Well, yeah, that
They're
too.
confused.
But
Do you have plans for any other merchandise in the IRC? I saw a bunch of people going around talking about a creeper shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Quattro King made a really cool concept for a creeper shirt, and I really wanted to do that, so I started looking at called the
Cafe
Sword
breast
sells.
sucks.
Yeah, exactly. It was really expensive. So, and like even if I didn't take any profit of it, it would still cost like $25 or something.
No. No way.
I would buy it.
Anyway,
Uh-oh.
so what's next?
Suggestions.
Suggestion, discussion, connection,
Oh boy.
population.
The
We have a-
longest part of the show.
This part's where we just kind of go into the forums and look at suggestions and such, and kind of talk about how cool they would be, how awful. Oh,
First one we have on our list is called Crystal Shrines. Go into caves, and there are some crystal caves, and shards of crystals coming in various colors. And you place them in player-built shrines,
It
and
seems some
they
people
give
have found.
various effects. Like,
It seems
it
some
can
people have
spawn
found their way
mobs,
into that.
kill aggressive mobs.
like enchanting sort of.
Yeah,
It's-
sorry, I
There's
kind of
some
missed the
people-
suggestion because there were people logging into the TeamSpeak and stuff.
Guys,
Crystal
there's
caves, with
some-
what in?
Well, I posted a link down in the chat thing, but you might want to take a look at
Oh,
that.
okay.
I'm just wondering,
Yeah.
what are those two people doing here in the lobby? Or
yeah, I
whatever?
know. I'm about to ban them permanently.
Okay, good. If any of you guys somehow
Oh,
find a way to
man.
get in here, just yeah.
Um.
Oh, what I take from it is that's okay. So it's crystals that you might be able to use to different kinds. There's blue ones that like spring water and makes all mobs die that are near you or something. Different. They all provide different.
The shards have various effects, and you place them in a user-built shrine, and the various effects are expelled onto the area. But the shrine itself costs 3 diamonds and gold.
Oh, that would be kind of.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do with magic in the game. It's to have rituals and slow working stuff. I'm not planning really on having like any aggressive, like traditional spell casting, but rather enchantments and stuff like
Fireball.
that. So,
Yay.
this looks. Sorry.
One interesting thought I heard about Minecraft suggestions is that all the big stuff that requires a huge crafting tree shouldn't give too much of a benefit to roaming people, but a lot of benefit to cities.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Once you place it, it takes a long time to pick up or something, so it's more like a settlement type thing.
Yeah, I definitely want to have more emphasis on having settlements and stuff. And I think that after multiplayer, I'm probably going to do some early balancing of like material use and the tech tree and stuff.
I want any.
Yeah, not sure. Right. Oh, fine. I always right. I was saying, do you plan on adding more kind of crafting trees, like cooking or out? Alright, cool.
It would probably be mostly by having more like crafting areas, like if you build like a cooking table or stove or something. But they might also have like prerequisites for the area around them. If you're building like a furnace, it needs to be like, I don't know, connected to wool.
Chimney?
That's a bad idea, but yeah, chimney or something like that. So the more you have that fits the block, the better it acts or something like that. It's kind of hard to know exactly what you should require and how to make that clear to the player, though.
Speaking of the crystals and stuff, I have another link that I posted down in the chat that's for alchemy, and it's actually pretty big. It's a pretty big one by one of the admins of the mods of the forum. It has the idea of a crafting table, but it's like a crafting grid that's for alchemy.
Yeah, and the way I usually do it is I just read through it really quickly and look at the pictures and stuff like that, because I like it more when I get like inspired, so I can do my own thing, because then it feels more like I'm doing my thing instead of just blindly implementing suggestions. But when I saw the hexagonal alchemy table thing, where you have like the 6 slots and the slot in the middle, I just fell in love with it. So alchemists definitely going to have a crafting table like that.
It does look like.
Yeah, but this idea is really well thought out.
I think that's better than just a 4-square table.
Cool. It's like all Full Metal Alchemist, which I think he put in there. What about another suggestion? There's buddy lists. I've always liked these because you get to have everyone that you know and stuff. But I'll just read it out. Personally, I think it'd be a really nifty thing to add in multiplayer if you added a buddy list feature that'd tell us what server the buddy is playing and how long they've been online, and enable us to PM them across servers.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That would be useful for clans.
I would really hope that you could probably turn it off though, because for example, if Notch was checking out a server and then he was friends with like a lot of people, they would kind of swarm in the server and stuff. But I don't know. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Another thing that I find kind of broken is that server-wide PM, so you could PM someone from hundreds of miles away. That's kind of broken because it makes you could just wear nothing and go for an espionage mission.
Yeah.
I might.
And if you die, no big deal.
Yeah, I might make it a server option to have like global chat or just local chat. But I find it's very confusing when you go out of range and the other person can't hear you. And you could hear them just recently and stuff like that. So, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? You just start doing a lot of that, which is kind of really annoying and spammy.
I was just thinking, what if it told you like in the chat like you are now out of range to speak to such and such?
I think that'd be very spammy.
Yeah, and then you get alerts of enemies coming near you, because suddenly it will say you can now chat to hostile face.
True.
That's his name.
Should Quattro join in on this?
He's been
not him.
He was supposed to be in the 5th podcast anyways, but...
Because of Ruckus, though.
Me.
I'm raising the limit just in case he ends up joining in.
Anyway, I also have one last suggestion. If anyone else wants to find any other ones while I'm just talking about this one, I made it. It's more just, I just kind of posted it here in the suggestions just for the discussion topic. But what about beer and alcohol and stuff? That's kind of a staple in most old games and stuff, but... What do you think?
Yeah, I'll probably have beer because it looks really cool, and I want to draw
Go
the
beer.
sprite. But I'm not sure I will have like the effects of beer.
Yeah. That's what was brought up in the thread a lot, that people didn't want complicated things. Like, for example, I had a entire table of, like, how many drinks you'd have, and then what it all do to you, and how much health it would take away, and stuff like that. So, we also already have wheat, so it wouldn't be that much of a stretch.
No, it would be fun to have like breweries and make beer, and it would probably be like the furnace where you start it and you keep it running, and after a while you get like a mug of beer or something.
Kind of fun for survival multiplayer, because then bars actually have a purpose.
Yeah.
My bars would just sell bread and beer. And soup.
I'd do that.
Now, Notch, is
And
there
maybe
gonna be
they'd have a
built-in,
pig
like,
killing machine out back.
is there any sort of economy system where you like a trade system or currency?
No, I might make coins because I really like coins for some reason in games. I think it's from when I played Dungeon Keeper 1 and 2, Dungeon Master, I mean. But I think that the trading in the game is probably mostly going to be just you drop one thing and then the other guy drops another thing. Then if he gave you the wrong thing, you hit them with your axe.
Yeah. I didn't want anything overly complicated, like some insanely complicated trading window thing.
No.
Well, in the forums, I've already seen somebody make a very complicated trade machine.
Yeah,
Do
I've
not
seen
want.
Redstone circuits.
Do not want.
You put the stuff in, and if the other person likes what they see, they activate a switch, and if both switches are activated, then the trading machine opens. Way too complicated.
It's pretty cool, actually.
I like that. It's a great in-game solution.
Another thing that with kind of speaking of that, kind of a bit off topic, I was kind of thinking about using telegraph, sort of like that. What you do is you like flip the switch, and you could have lines going underneath the ground to people, and could tell if you're in danger and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of a good idea.
Yeah, the problem there is that the red door stuff only works if there are players nearby, because that's how the ticking works. So it doesn't, because in the infinite map it can't keep everything in memory. So if it's too long and there's no people in the on the way there, it's just going to stop halfway.
Oh, but then if you did that,
either you would have your outpost 300 feet away from each other and always monitored,
Yeah.
or global PMs.
cool thing about that though is then if it doesn't activate when nobody's in there, you could tell if like someone enters your property. Like,
Yeah, you could.
you guys didn't see any other little suggestions that you guys like?
I think I saw one earlier, but let me see if I can find it again.
Achievements
What are your
and
opinions
powered
on
minecarts.
Yeah,
You
powered
already
minecarts
confirmed
are coming.
achievements on. Yeah, didn't you say something about achievements?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna add achievements. They won't like affect the game, so it won't like unlock stuff, but just so you can see exactly how much time you spent.
Alright, here it is.
Statistics.
Someone posted in the suggestions forum about mounts. Basically, you somehow can capture this animal, be it a sedative, a trap, other methods. There are spiders. It can only be captured during the day when it's docile, and the traits available are lunge attack action, web shot action, and wall climbing ability, and that kind of stuff. And there was giant albatross, giant eagle, and horse-like grassland animal. And then there
I
was
think there's
giant
going to be
scorpions and mules.
more riding animals.
Like, are you gonna be able to control them, or?
Yes, definitely. The pig thing is just a joke on my side, where you can ride them, but you can't control them. But the
Yeah,
other
it's
animals
kinda
will be
funny doing
controllable,
ice.
and perhaps having special attacks on some of them would be fun. I don't think having multiple special attacks would be like fun.
Maybe just like if you're riding a spider, you can jump further.
Yeah,
Good
I
idea.
might make that just if you use a jump key, you go up and forwards like the spiders do.
Yeah.
Also, powered minecarts.
Yeah, they're coming sooner or later.
Yes. How would we make them?
Probably a minecart and a furnace.
Okay.
And then you
Go really fast, or
pole
they
or
just kind of
something.
chug along. Like, just
If it goes on its own, it's going to like hit the outer rim of the loaded chunks and stop after a while. then when you get close to it, it will keep going. So if that's not too annoying, then it's going to go in its own.
No, everybody's really excited about survival multiplayer, but will you add the survival blocks to creative multiplayer?
I'm going to add creative mode to the game that's called Minecraft Alpha at the moment. So that's going to get when you start a new map, you will get to choose if you want to play it creative mode or survival mode.
Will there be
So,
mine cards there?
In creative mode, yes, it will be exactly the same game mode, but you won't be
Wicked.
able to, or it won't take any time to destroy blocks, and you will be able to create any block you want.
Kill
That
people.
would be
So,
awesome.
And
So
no enemies,
basically-
or at least no hostile enemies.
Notch. With this, what am I trying to say? Well, when are you going to add, you know, the other map types back?
I'm not sure I
Yeah.
will. I might make some of them regions of the larger map, so I get more like varied areas and such. But yeah, I think I'm going to try to unify things more instead of just having a lot of options. So if instead you can walk to an area like the woods area or the floating island area, that would probably feel more unified than if you choose it when you create the map. But I probably will have some when you start a map, you can choose your starting location from some kind of overhead map.
No, I mean like, you know, infinity maps, small map, medium map, large map.
Yeah, I might have limited, or I probably will have limited maps so you can make. Yeah,
idea
that's
of
coming
limited maps.
sometime.
By the way, speaking of biomes and stuff, what you said that you'd probably add seasons, right? But how long would each season last? Probably.
I'm a bit. The seasons don't really work too well with the infinite map thing, because if you leave an area when it's summer, then you come back when it's winter, it's going to be like lots of exposed grass and such. So I'd have to go through the entire level or chunk and bring it up to date with the snowing and such, which will make it even slower when you go back and forth. But I might have like seasons where it snows more during some the time of the year, but doesn't actually get cold or warm so the snow melts, stuff like that. But I will have areas where there's snow just on the tops of mountains and areas where it's just totally solid frozen oceans and such.
What's going on now is we're kind of going to the second main topic because we're just having a little Q&A of sorts. But so, do you guys want to take a break? Do you guys want a break or anything? Or are you
Sure,
guys fine?
it sounds good.
Up to you.
Anyone else?
Maybe we could take a break and then
I
come
don't mind.
back and take questions from the chat.
Good idea.
That's gonna be a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just kinda
Oh,
pick
God.
and choose.
482 viewers.
Well, first we'll take questions from the pad that we have set up, and then after that we'll take a select few like through PMs. I'm guessing. Wait, is there PMs on live stream?
I have no idea. We can just kind
I
of.
don't think so.
Nope.
Okay, well, we'll just take one of the ones that kind of stand out in the chat room, I guess.
Nickley says to take them from IRC. That's a good idea.
Yeah, you could PM
Yeah.
one of us, Real G, chezhead, Pixelator, probably not Notch, because he'll probably get too many of them.
I just got one
Yeah.
from some. I just got one from someone. Says ask Notch which NPCs will form villages. Not sure.
Yeah, I think probably like pigmen, perhaps.
Pigmen. And my skin's a pig in a suit.
Yeah.
You'll fit right in.
I don't want
Men,
pigmen or
pigs.
pigmen.
Creepermen?
Basically, they could be the mob skin with the pig eyes. Okay.
Big creepermen. That'd be awesome. Just
Creepmen, yeah.
Hello.
And they'd wear suits, of course.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, that little webcomic you posted, or not webcomic, I'm losing it.
The DeviantArt comic.
That's it.
that was actually pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
A question I just got from somebody. How will op and admin work on survival multiplayer?
I think it's most likely going to be so that you can specify on the
Hold
server
on,
that the
I
ops
forgot.
have a creative mode. So ops will be able to destroy or build anything.
Alright.
they'd be able to trigger events like meteors and natural disasters if you did add them, because there's something about that.
Well, I'm going to have like a kind of the modding support will be very extensible, so we'll be able to write mods for natural disasters and such. I think I want to have them in the game, but it's probably going to take a long time for me to add them.
Add mod with this creeper raining creepers.
Yeah.
And I'm receiving tons of questions about the release date of survival multiplayer.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
we should
already
answer
been
those.
said to roughly 2 weeks.
Okay,
Yeah, for the first buggy version.
I got a question on IRC from Lutikar or something like that. He said to ask Notch about the multiple suggestion problem on Google Moderator because he has to click things such as biomes and multiple crafting tables 50 times. And he says his
Yeah,
name is pronounced Lutikar.
I don't
anyway.
know how they're supposed to be solved, because I don't think there's any support for joining duplicate suggestions on Google Moderator, which is a shame, because it looks really useful, because people can vote on suggestions and stuff. But yeah, there's the duplicate problem.
Yeah, and then he also wants to know if you're planning on adding like bigger boats, and I guess my own take on it would be like where you can place chests, make beds, that kind of stuff.
Bigger what?
Boats.
Bigger boats, so you could put
Bigger
like
boats.
chests and furnaces and.
I've been kind of thinking about the idea of having entities that are kind of like level chunks, so that they can have like 16 by 16 by 16 blocks attached to them. But there's a lot of problems with like the physics and the rendering to get that fast for it and such. So I haven't been able to solve it yet. But if I do make something like that, it could be used for like elevators that you could design yourself, and boats and stuff like that. And it probably would be very good for the game.
Another question here. It's will he incorporate minecart storage, other types of boats, or growable plants? Already touched on the more boats, but would there be more kind of plants in minecart storage, whatever that is?
Yeah,
Or in
minecart
minecarts?
storage. The first version of the minecarts had storage only, but then I changed it to the riding only. But there will be minecarts which you can store things in, which will probably be crafted a minecart plus chest. And more plants, definitely, and more farming as well.
JCS asks if you have any other side projects planned, or another game, or anything.
Yeah, I have a few side projects planned. I'm still going to finish the 40 by 30 EGA remake of Lost Vikings sometime. And then later this fall, I'm probably going to start a small project with a friend of mine, just to see if we can actually work together.
This question is being told tons of times in chat. How is multiplayer respawning going to work?
You respawn, same as single player.
The same spot as you spawned in the earlier area?
Yeah, you will go back to where you joined the server.
Now, would you like drop all of your items so others could go free for all on them and find them and stuff?
Yep, exactly like single player. I'm trying to make them as similar as I possibly can, so it's the same experience.
And will you be able to re-choose your spawn point?
I'm considering that. I think it's kind of interesting to make it not possible to change the spawn point, because that gives the game a lot of room to have like cool technology or magical things to get people to travel faster, like having like teleporters or portals to other worlds or stuff like that.
Do you have threading implemented for us multi-core users, because it can get laggy?
Yeah, that's coming later. When I'm doing the server thing, I'm considering doing it so that when you play single player, you're actually running a server and a client. That will automatically give you threading, so that all the game logic and all of that gets run on its own process.
Yeah.
And that would also make it possible, so when you're playing single player, you could invite your friend immediately into that session as well, just by giving him the IP or something like that.
Yeah.
Alright, the cactus...
Another question I've received: how will land claim flag work?
Well, you set the server to LAN mode, then it won't force people to authenticate within join, which means that anyone can join using any name if they like hack the client or stuff like that. So then you probably have to combine it with a password system as well. Otherwise, anyone can join as a mod and just destroy the world. But if it's in LAN mode, it won't like check that people are actually like connected or signed into that user and stuff like that. So it will work even on like airplanes and stuff.
Well, actually, I just found Iguana just brought up a good point. It's kind of getting really weird, kind of all like kind of answering questions, asking
No, answer
questions
my
at once.
question. No, answer my question.
So what we'll do is we can just each one line like go down from pixel Eater can find a question on that, and then Real G, then Shadowdusk, and want to just make everything.
You'll be here for a while, Notch.
Yeah.
Yes, lovely.
Anyways, I have one question. Are we going to get the ability to connect minecarts to other minecarts to make trains out of them?
Yes, when I solve it. There are some like problems with the physics. They kind of start pushing each other and stuff. But yeah.
Which would make it kind of self-powered.
Yeah, it's not a stable system at the moment.
Oh, I see.
One thing I've actually seen once is that herding animals, just like using feathers of sorts or something like that to move animals around without having to hurt them, like just put them in little cages or like to bring them into buildings.
I'm probably going to use like leashes for that.
I received a suggestion about oil. Well, you would be able to find oil 25, 50 blocks below sea level, and you could power stuff. But
if I do add oil, it's not going to be able to power stuff because that's a bit techy.
That'd be kind of hard with like the buckets and putting it in stuff. There'd be oil spills.
Yeah.
That would be all worth
And
it.
another thing, it would be flammable, and there'd be lava underground too in the same place. There'd be fires everywhere. Too many.
Yeah, that sounds like a great recipe for disaster. I like
Just
that.
put lava on an entire town. Rail on town, just let it burn.
Actually, crap. See, when it always comes to me, I can't think of anything.
Do you want me to take your turn?
Yeah, come back to me.
Okay, the Cactus Man asks if there's gonna be a better cactus skin.
Yes,
And that's really
there
all
is.
I have.
It's going to be
Alright.
like it's going to have like little
Alright.
thorns actually sticking out of it.
Oh, that's
That'd
cool.
be
cool.
Okay, I have 3 questions actually. One of them is, are we going to be able to have a compass system, perhaps building one with a magnetic ore?
A compass? Yeah, yes.
Also, okay, when we have many players in multiplayer in the same spot, and we have all mined stuff in a big area under the ground level, will it respawn like will the ores respawn and such?
No, they will not respawn.
And are there going to be beds?
Probably. I'm going to sometime do a thing when I add a few more furnitures. And beds is probably going to be one of those. Like beds, chairs, I don't know, tables maybe? Like that.
One
And are
chairs,
there going to
chairs
be
is a great
like
idea.
lamps, oil lamps, candle lamps?
Yeah, I'm thinking I might actually have to like ruin the game for everyone and make torches burn out after a while. Because right now it's far too easy to make the dungeons totally safe, because monsters don't spawn in bright areas. But when I do so, I will also make monsters even more sensitive for light, so even in dimly lit areas they won't spawn. But then I will add like oil lanterns or something like that that will burn forever as a like higher tier torch.
One way to fix the everyone getting all angry about the torches being burnt out is that you could if it was possible, maybe, I don't even know how it would work, but you would convert all the torches in game right now to lanterns, so it would make everyone it wouldn't.
It would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty good idea. Yeah, I'll just replace the torch ID number thing with the oil lantern and add the torch as a new item.
I'm receiving tons of questions in the IRC. Apparently everybody thinks I'm the designated Zen question guy. Cold Fusion is asking your opinion on SMP griefing, and if there are any plans to combat it.
Yeah, I think I'm doing more verification now than I did in the old Minecraft Classic server. So right now at the moment it's impossible to walk through walls, for example. And I will have like, so you can make areas where people can't build except for a few selected people, which will be like the land grab flag thing. And then I will add more tools for like server admins, so they'll be able to save an area of the map or load an area of the map from a file.
Okay. Also, will you be able to like craft a map that'll show what you've explored on the world?
I want it, but it's kind of tricky to implement.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And
I got a couple of questions.
Would the multiplayer server be automatically updated, or would it be manually updated? Like, for new features and such?
In the final version, it will be automatically updated, unless you turn it off in the settings.
Alright.
I got a question here from Murgy. He wants to know what you have planned for wool now. Like, are you gonna make It's going to be able to reduce fall damage and what it's going to be used for.
It will reduce fall damage, and it will be used for like making clothes, which you can dye in different colors if you want them.
Okay, I have a couple of questions. Will milk be craftable into other foods, like cake?
Cake, yeah, possibly, yeah.
And
Sounds
will
like a good use for the milk.
stupid phone?
I actually have one. Oh crap, what was it?
I
Well,
received a
he's-
question from Dinar. Will there be customizable armor?
I'm not sure, maybe. It sounds like a pretty good thing to have so you can distinguish people easier from each other. Because if everyone's wearing armor, they're going to look pretty much the same. But then it gets hard to see which armor people are using, which is kind of the point of why I made them so big and
Yeah,
obvious.
somebody could paint leather armor like Diamond.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I might have like, you can have like an insignia or something on the armor.
A question here that asks, would there ever be engravings on walls of sorts? So it's-
Possibly.
as I was
Also,
saying-
are you gonna? Oh, sorry. Here, go ahead.
Well, as said in an earlier Minecast episode, that you could use engravings as like drawing on walls instead of using words. Like engravings would be used for drawing things, but then I think it was like Dragon and Vigilia said that that'd be really easy for griefers, just swastikas everywhere on every single wall.
Yeah. No, I only can save 4 bits of data per block. No, actually, I have the Thailand list. Never mind. Yeah, engravings could work. I think it would be actually kind of cool to be able to paint your own signs and chisel your own engravings. It's a bit more manual work than just writing the text, but it might be fun.
All right.
Um,
Are we gonna be able to make arrows out of other materials like flint or stone?
Yes.
And the next is, are you thinking about adding any new ores like something like aluminium or in metal or steel?
I'm not sure if we're going to add more metals, but there's going to be more stuff to find in caves at least. I think that the number of ores right now is pretty good, but it would be fun to find like other things like more mushrooms or spider webs and stuff like that.
And
Yeah.
here's one last question for me for now. But this is kind of what I've been wondering myself. But are you gonna possibly add birds you could like shoot down with bow and arrows and stuff?
Yay.
Flaming
Yeah,
birds.
probably. I don't want to add like hostile birds because cliff races are no fun. But birds you can hunt, yeah, sounds like fun.
I've actually had a lot of questions here, like a ton of questions about diving suits. Would there be something like
Yeah.
that maybe double your water health or something? I mean, underwater breathing stuff.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, some kind of helmet that you use to dive.
All right. Will there
Definitely.
ever
It's gonna be
be?
after I add,
We're saying
it's gonna be
iguana.
after I add like the corals and stuff. But yeah,
We're saying
Will
iguana?
there ever be iguanas in game?
Yes, I hope so.
maybe lizards in general.
Are you considering a rope to like as an alternate ladder system to maybe like scale a wall or something like a vertical line of cloth to make one piece of rope?
No, I don't think so because I already have the ladders.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to have like free hanging rope that hangs. So you could like attach it and it falls down, so you can climb up just free hanging.
Yeah.
Perhaps. If I can find some kind of fun, unique use for it, I might add it. Yeah. Grappling hooks
Wrangling
would work
pigs.
as well.
Oh, and the person who asked that questions asked like, what about using it to like connect things together?
Like with physics.
Oh, like rope, like to hook two boats together or mine carts or something.
Well, I'm going to have like so you can use some kind of rope to drag animals around and such. I don't know, adding. Yeah, I guess tying a pig to a boat would be fun.
I like the idea of tying a creeper and just to the end of a boat and just kind of driving it into a city or something and just blowing it up.
Yeah. Then you
I
tie
think-
that creeper to another creeper and then yeah.
We're receiving a ton of questions right now, and I think we need to get them all organized and in one place, so I think we're calling a break right now.
and
dun
hilarious.
dun.
We truly have flawless openings.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello, welcome to Minecast episode 5, part 2. We still have Notch here, we still have everyone here, and we're going to be taking questions from IRC and live stream.
First up is me.
Mostly IRC.
Alright. I have a question that okay. Is it gonna be possible to make an animal farm, like not one of those ghetto ones where you get the mob spawners from like NBT Edit or something, and then you just
Ghetto,
like make
you're
them
funny.
die? But are we gonna be able to make a real true animal farm?
Yes, I definitely want something more like that. Right now you just run around and punch random sheep, and I think it would be fun if you actually had to make some investment before you could get like the wool or the porks.
Alright, and also,
Yeah.
are you
Mine
gonna
will.
add like are you gonna add an extended seed generation option for like a world generator so that the levels are more advanced?
More advanced? How?
An extended seed generation option.
Then let's see, like you have bigger oceans.
I'm not sure, but I would think so. Like bigger terrain marks. I got this question from IRC, so.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to add like options to the level generator, because I kind of like the purity of just running around in it and seeing fun things that way. But having bigger oceans looks like a good idea now that they have the boats.
Yeah, I have a
Yeah.
question. I have a question here, and it's what kinds of arrows? Like, what do you make? Like, everyone knows that there's fire arrows, but would you make any other kinds? Like, for example, flint tip would be fire or something like that. But would you make any other kinds?
I think like having someone a long time ago suggesting having like TNT arrows, which I think is a really fun idea, and I think there's a lot of potential to having something like an arrow with some kind of block at the end has some kind of effect, like an arrow plus TNT makes a TNT arrow which explodes, or like arrow plus bucket of water makes so you can shoot away an arrow which creates a water spring when it hits, stuff like that.
Torch arrows, which I thought would be kind of cool idea. Like when it hits it, it sticks in as a torch.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I received a question from Nunu on IRC. Will there be stuff to help make machinimas?
Yeah, I got the same question.
Ooh, interested.
Hopefully.
Some that come to mind are hiding the heads-up display
Yeah, that's funny.
and a green screen block.
That'd be interesting.
Love that.
I believe that
Well-
just pink cloth or lime green would suffice.
Yeah. If there's none of the blocks that actually work, and might make a new block that has that as a secondary effect.
Yeah, we're getting some interesting questions.
Shadow Dusk, do you have any questions?
Oh yeah. I want. Will you ever implement like long grass so we have, instead of just the flat grass everywhere, like longer?
Are there Pokemon in the
Yeah,
grass?
possibly, yeah. It would be for some like terrain area which has a lot of that longer grass, because I'm definitely going to add like what's it called? Oh, I don't know the
Rainforest?
English word.
Oh,
Like vass at the edges of water near beaches. You get like the long like water living grass things, whatever they're called.
Alright,
Wild animals appear in long grass.
yeah.
Oh, creepers appear.
Pokemon!
Got to throw snowballs at him to catch him.
I have two questions. Deadlock asks, why are creepers always sad?
I don't think they are sad. They just change.
Explode happy. They're very
Yeah, they're
happy.
explode happy. They're very yeah.
And another one,
They made some mistakes in their youth, and they're paying now.
Rebels.
They're paying
I've
for
been-
it.
I've been asked multiple times about this. Will you be making InfDev any taller? Like, Z axis any higher? Higher.
Yeah, I think 256. It's 128 blocks tall now. I think 256 might actually happen, but I would like to try to make them like variable height, so you can have like huge high areas and stuff
Yeah,
like that. But it's really tricky to get it to perform well.
a
If I
player
double
could
the
fall
height right
through
now,
some unloaded blocks.
Yeah, but if I just double the height right now, the frame rate would drop to half for everyone. So yeah.
That one.
Christ, I have a lot of questions.
Alright, should I go ahead and ask my questions? Well, anyways, Funny Guy 3D asks, will there be trapdoors and other kinds of traps, and will you be able to make spikes out of iron bars?
Yes, and probably. I think trapdoors
Also,
will be very good for having like. Well, it's good for like if you make tree houses and stuff like that. I really like the idea of them. And the arrows, well, I mean the spikes. I don't know. Maybe will just be like the cacti.
Hmm.
Let's go up next. I
Okay.
have one.
You can go.
Okay, I have one about
Go.
will there be deeper oceans and possibly whirlpools or sea monsters? One thing about sea monsters is that someone in the wiki, someone added sea monsters into wiki as one of the updates, and everyone freaked out trying to find them. But would you add sea
Yeah, I saw
monsters
that.
and whirlpools?
If I do make the bigger oceans, then there's definitely going to be deeper oceans as well. And sea monsters, well, yeah, it's terrifying, so probably. Whirlpools, yeah, why not? Sometime.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Cool. Well, crap. I had one lined up. I swear. I was thinking about it. I'm gonna.
I've got one.
I have one
Ryder
too.
is See, Ryder is asking about linking private servers together in a distributed manner so there can be tons of players at once.
The tons of players at once in the same area is not going to work just because you link the servers. But having something like we have a portal that leads to another server, like it will ask the client or the player, do you want to connect to the server? Because it's requested that you connect. That would work.
Right?
Will you be able to place redstone on walls?
Maybe. I'm not convinced.
alright. Now, is there going to be some sort of like an area chat instead of a global chat, like within like say 10 chunks?
Probably not.
And is there going to be like fishing and seaweed and stuff?
Seaweed, yes. Fishing, yeah. I think so. It's going to be boring, but yeah.
Are there also going to be different ranged weapons like crossbows and guns?
No guns, but maybe crossbows.
Alright. Sorry, my mom just got home.
I guess it's my turn then. Will
Say hi to your mom.
skeletons have fire arrows?
Yeah, some breeds of skeletons will probably have skeleton or fire
Like a
arrows.
burning skeleton.
Yeah, I like the idea of having the monsters causing fires.
Would explosions create fires in the future?
No, not the normal creeper ones, but I like the idea of having a fire creeper that has a much smaller blast radius, but spawns like these lava things or whatever that cause fires.
Medieval, or I don't know the name, is asking about siege weaponry, catapults, possibly cannons.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to happen.
What types of siege weaponry do you think would be?
Well, I like cannons because they're really tricky to use, and that would be kind of fun to see. Cannons and probably loading them with different ammunition, so you can like burning boulders, or well, I guess you could launch most things like launching creepers if you.
That'd be
Launch a
would be
monster
interesting.
spawner.
A creeper
why not?
monster spawner.
Yeah, I guess you should actually
Creeper-
be able to load it with any block or tie any entity to it, and it'll actually launch it.
Raining creepers.
Yeah.
Wait, is it my turn?
What if you put a catapult in a catapult?
In a catapult. In another
Yeah,
catapult.
What's up, dog? I heard you like catapults.
So, have fun with this.
It's funny because it's a meme.
Okay. I'll just ask a question. So let's see. What other games do you play other than programming and stuff? I bet you play that a lot.
Yeah, I play a lot of games. I mostly these days play on like the consoles, like Xbox 360 and PS3. But I used to play a lot of Steam games. I think I have like 180 or something on there, and I tend to
God, that's
like,
a lot.
go back to the classics. So I play like Half-Life 1 once per year, and Doom 2 and stuff like that.
Doom 2, you should play with me sometime.
Yes, I will probably lose. I used to be really good at it.
Are there gonna be any more options for like flight, like balloons or flying mounts?
I might add flying mounts. Balloons, probably no.
Also, are there going to be floodgates or lava gates or something like that that can
Absolutely.
be controlled by redstone?
Yes.
Awesome. I just want to just fill an entire.
Would there be
Notch?
more types of growable plants for farms and stuff?
Yes, there will be more farming stuff. Pumpkins for sure.
What all do you have planned for redstone-based triggers?
Triggers for the redstone, like stuff that gets triggers or stuff that triggers redstone.
Stuff that triggers redstone and stuff that is triggered by redstone.
Oh, so both. I think having like a light sensor, which is sensitive to daylight, would be kind of fun because you can have bases that lock when it gets dark.
Yeah.
Having triggered things like the floodgates being triggered would be fun. I think possibly even having like furnaces that turn off when they're not triggered. I don't know why you would want to do that, but that's a possibility. I think.
Minecarts, I don't know.
Yeah. I think the more things that
So,
get it so they actually react to it, the more fun people can have. Even if I don't understand what it's used for, I can just add it and people might find a use for it.
let's see.
Mickley's asking if we can have any rolling stone traps like in Indiana Jones.
That's well, I don't think like square boulders can roll.
Yeah, it would be funny.
Yeah, they just thud and then they just sit there.
Actually, that brings me to a question. I got that. You know how in Spelunky there's some blocks that fall on you if you dig underneath them? I probably got the game wrong, but screw it. Or you have blocks that fall like once they're
Like
you know,
cave-ins.
like fall and hurt you.
Fall that like the sand will fall down if you find the sand.
No,
sand
like
ceilings and stuff
a
like that.
rock, like falling rocks that would hurt you, like if you were mining. I know what I mean. It's hard to explain it.
Like a small cave-in thing.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think having things attack the player from above is kind of never really worked in any game, Morrowind. So just having a boulder suddenly fall on you and kill you, it's probably just going to be confusing rather than fun, but it sounds like an interesting thing.
Okay. Are there going to be any environmental hazards like quicksand?
Yeah, there are going to be more environmental hazards. Quicksand might be fun, actually. I think like when you're going swimming, there will be like these dangerous things that you can hurt yourself on in the water, like prickly, spiked black things.
Or coral?
Stuff like that.
Huh.
Yeah, coral, yeah.
But what about like gems that you could use as socket equipment or weapons like from Diablo? Do you have any plans for something like that?
Yeah, when I was starting the game, one of the plans I had for items was having a very Diablo-inspired enchantment or like socketing, stuff like that. But I think I'm going to go more along the lines of alchemy and enchantments rather than having it be like physical socketed things.
Are there gonna?
Anyway, so there's a question earlier that this is gonna be like we're gonna do 10 more questions, then we're going to wrap it up or talk about something else. So, anyway, is there gonna be plans about being like more dungeons and like types of relics, like good weapons that like put enemies on fire, like that?
Yeah. I definitely want all of that. For the dungeons, I'm really looking forward to actually implementing a pseudo-random dungeon generation thing, because yeah, I've been doing some experiments trying to make roguelikes, and it's always really fun doing the dungeons. So I think that's definitely going to make it into Minecraft sooner or later. As for finding like equipment, yeah, I already have like the chests in the small dungeon rooms things where you can find like fairly unique items like the apples. But finding like an enchanted sword and it would be really fun.
Do you plan on adding sandstorms?
I haven't planned it so far, but it sounds fun.
Yeah, I didn't get a lot for a message.
Somebody has asked about repairing or extending the life of equipment.
It's kind of been planned that I don't want to add repairing, because if you enchant an item, then it's if you can't repair it, then you have like limited uses on it, which is kind of good. But I might have some like 50-50 repairing thing, where either you break it or either it gets repaired, like a 50-50 chance, which will be really annoying, but it might be fun.
And another thing, on the Minecraft forums, people have been talking about Thomas the Sheep. heard about him?
Thomas, no, I missed that.
What the hell
Oh,
is
you.
that?
Make shrines
Religion.
and you basically worship sheep.
No.
It all started when I think it was a guy named Sniper. He had a sheep trap, and then the sheep made a cute look at him when it died. So everyone wants to worship Thomas the sheep. And every time someone gets pushed off a cliff by something, they always blame it on Thomas.
Ah. Yeah,
I
I
made
might have to do something with that.
I made a sacrificial table for sheep.
Yes.
Will we ever have like natural disasters such as earthquakes or something, or tsunamis, or?
I want to have it, but it's probably going to take me a long time to add it. If it's too destructive, then it might be no fun. But if you know you're in like an area that's prone to natural destructions, then it might be fun. Like if you see a volcano and like the sky is darker or redder or something, then you set up a base there and then suddenly it goes off. That might be really fun.
A question. I'm just a quick one here. Is there any plans of any other game modes, like for example, there's zombie survival or capture the flag or something like that, or is that all, or is everything just gonna be in
Well, yeah, game modes. I think it's. I do want stuff like capture the flag and stuff like that. I don't know how much of that is going to be done via the modding. And right now, since I'm still thinking about how I'm going to do like the single player, multiplayer split in the code, I might make it so that it's actually the same code. Then you would get all of those game modes in single player as well. So, but I think it's probably going to be modding. Then I will release like mods myself, or other people will.
Speaking of that, someone had an idea, instead of capture the flag, it'd be capture the pig.
Yeah, and the Team Furnace, where the first team to smelt gold or whatever wins.
Huh.
Every one of you deserves a medal.
Creeper is credit
What?
team.
What is your vision for what people will do in survival multiplayer?
Well, I know what I want to do, and that's just getting lost in caves and then complaining that I can't find my way back. Question people's extensions to the house. It's going to be like I'm going to play with just a couple of players, like 4 players at the same time, and go exploring and stuff. But I think one of the most popular game modes is going to be like the more persistent game worlds, where people don't reset the world so much, and they have like a bunch of regular players that come on and perhaps have a pretty high player limit, like 32 people at the same time or something. So this is just going to be, yeah, they're going to run out of natural resources and start building huge buildings and stuff.
Notch, would you ever add taming animals to fight alongside you?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Perhaps not like pigs and sheep and stuff, but if you manage to somehow tame a spider, it would be really fun to have it attack the people you're attacking.
Blow up for you.
Will the server force a player cap? Like you can only have 32 max players?
No, I won't have any cap like that, but yeah, it's using a lot of memory per connected player. I think it's something like 50 or 60 megabytes per player if you have an infinite map, which assumes they're not in the same location, because it's really the terrain that's the problem. So, but either if you have a limited map or if you have like people staying close to each other, you can have fairly many players as long as you have the bandwidth for it.
So are we going to be able to specify the like exact dimensions of the map, like 10,000 by 10,000 by 128 or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
And then
man.
it will like gradually turn into ocean the further you get out, and there will just be endless ocean outside that, which actually won't use any network space or disk space, because it would be like in the old in-dev.
Yeah.
Will there be craftable instruments? This guy's been spamming me for like, I don't know.
Maybe. Sounds like a fun idea. How would you play them though?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Hey,
Yeah, you hit the wall and it goes ding.
We already have musical cows.
Yeah.
Moo, moo, moo.
I think this will probably be our last question. Will there be biome-specific monsters?
Yes, absolutely.
I see thrown a lot on the forums, elementals.
Elementals. Yeah, I like elementals. It's basically if you find a feature that's in Dungeon Keeper 2, I mean Dungeon Master 2, sorry, then I'm probably going to add it, because I love that game.
Speaking of biomes, it's not another question, but do you see that coming out before or after survival multiplayer?
The survival multiplayer is coming first, unless I do it like a Friday update. I tried to do it as a Friday update when I did the snow, but I only had time to do the snow.
Okay.
We could talk forever with all the questions we have, but
Yeah.
Seriously, we probably could.
Yeah, probably. I think I kind of have to go do other things now.
Okay.
yeah. How is your current progress on survival multiplayer?
It's I was working on the chatting, but then I got sidetracked with the phone call and stuff. But and I finished the item picking upping. I think once I have inventory management done, I think I could do some more private testing with more people.
Sweet. On a scale of 1
And
to
how-
10, how fun is it?
To play or to develop?
Both.
Both.
Well, to play at the moment, it feels like the first time I was playing creative mode multiplayer. But just it's suddenly a lot less lonely, and you can actually like see people do stuff, and it's fun like that. But all the bugs kind of ruin the fun. But I think it's definitely going to be a 10.
And what bugs do you have in that? So right now, is it just kind of the regular, like, just crash easily, or any ones that?
Well,
kind
it
of
doesn't. Well, it didn't crash when we were playing. It just there was a bug where players got duplicated on the server, so it started sending more and more data because it was sending it to all copies of that player. So it got laggier and laggier and slower as we were playing, but it didn't crash, and there were lots of weird bugs. But it seems to be fairly stable actually.
I think that's it
And-
for this episode.
Don't forget that we do other episodes.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and they're great. I always listen to Minecast.
There, you said it.
There.
Yeah.
It's not approved. Yeah, be sure if you
Yes.
ever want to send us any
Not
questions.
approved.
You might not. we-
Minecast.zuriki.net is our website. We will have this up within a few hours. We also have a Twitter and email account.
And that never
Really?
gets updated.
What is that Twitter and
Yep.
email account?
Our email account is minecast@gmail.com, if you did not already know.
Send
For
in
that.
viewer mail and stuff.
Send in fan art if you really want. We don't really care. Send in
I
anything.
love
Yeah.
fan art.
No,
Send in all the fan art you want. I will look at all of them.
you'll love it.
Fan out of man and iguana's baby.
Yes.
Okay, so just
So, I hope you guys had fun listening to us.
I hope you don't hate me for not answering your questions.
I hope
Same.
you do.
what happens? You get angry emails or something every single time because
You didn't
Why
answer
Come on,
the
didn't you
Pokemon.
answer my question? My question was good. I hate you now. You all smell. P.S. Please read my question on the air.
You can read your question next episode, however, we don't guarantee Notch will be there.
We can't guarantee we will be here.
name of it.
We
make
can't
it clear.
guarantee anyone will be here, actually.
So,
We would love to have you back for another episode sometime, Notch.
Thanks a lot
Maybe
for
around
coming.
when multiplayer
Yes, thank
comes
you very
out.
much.
Oh yes,
I'll
thank
just
you.
Thank you, good sir.
Let's quick explain
thank
how
you,
we
thank
got
you,
here.
thanks
I
for
just
having
kind of asked on whim on the IRC, "Hey Notch, do you want to join us?" And he's like, "Is that a Skype type thing?" I'm like, "Oh man, he's gonna join us." And then now he's here, and we just recorded that.
Yeah.
And we're crying.
Yeah, of happiness.
Joy.
oh yeah.
Of joy.
So, hope you guys had a fun
So-
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bye.
we had a-
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody. I love you all.
Bye.
Bye.